Hey everyone, it's Stefanie Garcia, and this is the Art of Becoming series, where we talk all about the journey between where you are right now and where you want to be, and all the stuff that has to happen in between to get you there. If you're ready, let's get started. Hey everybody, how are you all doing? I'm doing good where I'm at. I'm looking out the window and I'm starting to see the change of the leaves. We're in September and fall is coming, and I just thought, you know what? It's a perfect thing for the topic that we're talking about today, right? Change. Um, Sometimes change can be awesome, like seeing the leaves changing, change of the season, pretty exciting. But I'm willing to bet that when you're listening to this episode, that's not the kind of change that you're getting excited about, right? Change can be exciting, change can be exhilarating sometimes. Change can feel like a breath of fresh air, and we're totally ready for it, and totally excited about it. But sometimes also change can feel really uncomfortable, right? And we can resist it with all of our might. And that's what brought up this episode. I noticed that I've been thinking a lot about change and transition lately. And what I noticed was that I was not being so excited about the possibilities of what I could gain from change, but I was feeling very stuck and stagnant and resistant to change instead. And that is what caused me to come in and explore why that was happening. And that's what led to this episode. So I'm going to ask you, when I speak about change, when I talk about change, what's the first thing that comes up for you? What's the stuff that comes up for you? Is it something that makes you super excited, or is it something do you too feel resistant against? Right now we don't always have to be resistant to change in every aspect of our lives. Like I said, there's a lot of things that we can be really super excited about changing, but in this episode, I do want to talk about the times when we are resisting it, when we're holding back, when we're not moving forward and we're feeling stuck and stagnant. That's what I'm wanting to talk about today. Now, I've heard it said before that, um, you know, everybody wants change, but nobody wants to change. And I had to laugh out loud at that because, it's true. It's true, right? I think deep down, we're all creatures of habit, and we do prefer the familiar. We prefer the known, right? Because familiar equals safe to us, which makes a whole lot of sense. I totally understand that. But I think that that's where the issue lies. When we're feeling stuck and stagnant and resistant to change, that's usually coming from the place where our minds are looking at that change or looking at the possibility of change. And we are thinking, the brain comes up with all the different possibilities of how things can get disrupted. When I check in with myself, those are the times where I notice that my brain is usually dealing in absolutes. Like if this happens, then this will happen, and then all will be lost. Dramatic stuff that my brain likes to pull up. And I know I'm not the only one with that. So here's the reframe I want to give you. What if we could see change a little bit differently? Just a little bit. When I look into the changes of my life, rarely have things changed into something else, but they have evolved into something else. They have grown into something else. They have become more. Change isn't happening as much as there's an evolution occurring. And when we can see change from this place, we can open up a little bit more. Um, we can move towards it. We can move towards it a little bit more. And we can see that change doesn't have to be something that we dread. So it's very similar to where a seed doesn't change into a flower, it becomes a flower. It becomes more of itself. That is not to say that there won't be emotions associated with it. Change, that evolution can bring up feelings, and that's totally okay. Be there for yourself with that, because that's what I feel like we're resisting. I don't think that we are resisting change as much as we are resisting the feelings that we think that change is going to bring. And that is really powerful to know. It's really important to know. It's really important to separate the evolution that's occurring and the feelings we have about that evolution and give space for both. When we're willing to feel our feelings around the evolution and really process that, we can then open up to more. And sometimes that takes time, right? But being willing to feel your feelings around the evolution is probably the best thing you can do for yourself. And it's the only way to really move yourself past that stuckness, past that resistance. If we're willing to open ourselves up to how we're feeling about the evolution, we can finally move forward. So, those are my thoughts on change, but I want to hear about what you think. Is change something that you run towards, or is it something that you run from? Did you find what I had to say today useful? If so, leave a comment. And if you're listening to the podcast, please leave me a review. Let me know how I'm doing. And as always, please like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with all the new episodes that I'm bringing out, because I love sharing my journey with you and I love this interaction that we're having. So until next time, guys, take care. Bye. Thanks so much for listening. If you'd like, share this episode with a friend. That way we can get it into the ears of people who need it the most. You can also visit my website at theartofbecoming.me. While there, you can go ahead and download my guide, Own That Shit. 3 ways to own who you are, own what you do, and own it out into the world. Thank you again so much for listening, and I'll speak to you soon.